I wasn't going to film today, but then I realised, why was I not going to film? Oh, it's a little bit cold. It is -2 degrees, but why? Well, that's not a reason not to film. Of course not. Is there still frost and snow on the floor? Yes, there is. There is still frost and snow on the floor, but that just makes it interesting, you know? Makes it slightly more comfy. That's what you love to see. Neighbours playing banging music as well. It's a perfect time to record. Now, you have someone who wakes up in the morning and he does all the bad things, right? He wakes up in the morning, first thing he does, he whips out his phone, checks his phone. I don't have my phone, so I'm just going to demonstrate with a book. He wakes up in the morning and he looks at his phone straight away. This is not a good thing to use as a phone. But he gets up and the first thing he does is he looks at his phone and he starts scrolling on social media, on Instagram, all the social medias, responding to streaks on Snapchat. And before you know it, he's woken up at 8. He told himself, I'm going to wake up early tomorrow. He wakes up, but then he just scrolls on his phone and he stays in bed until 11. Oh, I was going to get up early so I could revise, but I've woken up later. I'm going to push that revising until later. Oh, it's gone to 4 p.m. I'm a little bit tired. I'll save it for tomorrow. And then he never does it. Is this you? Could this be you? Could you be the person who wakes up every single morning and the first thing you do is just check your phone? You fap in the morning straight away. You just scroll through Instagram. You see a fit model, you're like, oh, this gives me temptation. Is this you? Are you the person who wakes up in the morning and does none of the good habits? Or are you the perfect man? Are you the perfect person who gets up in the morning and the first thing he does is he gets out of bed and he walks across the room, he drinks a whole litre of water, just whips out a giant gallon bottle of water, drinks all of it, downs it in 0.2 seconds, runs, sprints outside and gets that morning ray of sunshine, morning ray of sunlight onto him. Even though it's not sunny. Right now, it's not sunny. It's cloudy, but I can still get so much more sunlight into my system, more than if I was in my room scrolling on social media for hours upon hours doing nothing. Now, if you tell me that, oh yeah, I'm him, I'm the perfect man, I'm already him, you're lying. Okay, just stop it. You're lying to yourself, you're lying to me, but I mean, I'm on the other side of a camera. I'm not going to hear your response. I don't care. So why are you lying? You're lying to yourself, man. Stop it. There is one thing that you need to do. There is just one thing that you need to do to take a step closer to becoming that perfect man every single morning. It's something that you must do before 10 a.m. My name is Wylder, and I help other men like me take back control of their lives. Now, what is the thing that I want you to do before 10 a.m. every single morning when you wake up that will make you become the perfect man? I want you to eat the frog. I want you to eat the frog when you wake up in the morning. And what this means is basically when you wake up, first thing you need to do the hardest task straight away. The hardest task of that day you need to do in the morning first thing. Alright? You've got the average man. Okay, so you've got the average person who could be doing all the degenerate habits every morning. When he gets up, the first thing he does is go on his phone, he scrolls through social media, he finds something that gets him aroused, turns on his monkey brain in the morning, and then he suddenly goes onto the hub and he already faps one out. And he hasn't even left bed yet. Maybe he's the degenerate habit where the first thing he does when he gets up is he just gets up, and you think he's being productive. Oh, he's getting out of bed, just to go sit on his chair and then proceed to game for the rest of the day. He's got a day off, why not just game the rest of the day away? Doesn't eat healthy, he gets up, he could be smoking pot. You know, I used to know some friends, they don't anymore, but I used to know some friends, but the first thing they did in the morning is literally just smoke pot. You got the average person who's doing all these degenerate habits. I'm assuming, if you're watching this, maybe you've been on self-improvement for a little bit now, right? I'm assuming you're a little past this. Maybe not, but maybe you are. When you wake up in the morning, you don't go on your phone first thing. When you wake up in the morning, you actually get out of bed and you go across the room, you drink water, you go downstairs, you get some sunlight in your system. I assume you're a little bit past these degenerate habits. And maybe you think that you're being, a little productive, just a little bit productive. You're not being as productive as you can be to your full potential. You're not working to your full potential. You could be doing more. Now for me, right, that excites the hell out of me. right? Right now, if you told me that, all right, you think you're being a little bit productive, yeah, you are, but you could do a whole lot more. You could be so much more productive. And being productive in the first place makes me feel really good. So when I hear that you could be even more productive, you could feel even better, you could do even more, that makes me feel super excited. That makes me feel like, oh, okay. I want to ask you a question, right? I call it the eat the frog question. Right, so I want to ask you a question. If you had a choice to eat a frog, right, you've got to eat this frog before dinner or after dinner, which would you choose? Would you choose to eat it before? Would you choose to eat it after? Now, what most people will say is that they will choose to eat the frog afterwards, right, after dinner. Like, okay, right, that's a frog, that's disgusting. I don't want to eat that, so I want to have it after dinner, you know? I want to have dinner first, I want to eat the good thing first. So most people would say that. But then during your dinner, you're just eating, but you're focusing, you're like, okay, all right, I've got this dinner, but after I've got to eat that frog, it's right there, it's crawling around. I've got to eat that frog, oh, I don't really want to. You're eating, but then all you can think about is that frog afterwards. Makes you anxious. You can't even enjoy your dinner, and then you finish your dinner, and you've got to eat the frog. You see, that's what most people would say. Then you've got the other option, what the smart people would say. The people on self-improvement who would choose to eat the frog before. Now, maybe you are on self-improvement and you did choose that, no, I want to eat the frog before. Because you'll think, okay, no, let's eat the frog now, because then I can actually enjoy my dinner. I can actually eat my dinner and it will wash out the bad taste, you know? It'll wash it through. It's like eating something nice after to kind of get rid of that flavour. And then you can actually enjoy your meal. See, the smart people would have said this. The people on self-improvement. You chose. You're on self-improvement, and maybe you chose to eat the frog before. See, you would do this, but yet you don't do it with work, with real life things right now. You see, the biggest thing that, for me, right, talking to my younger friends, that makes me sound like a pedo. Talking to my friends, we are younger people, right? We're not like 20, 30. We're like getting up just underneath our 20s, right? Talking to them, what's the biggest thing on men's mind right now? On men's mind. Young men, old men, what's the biggest thing? And we found it's creating that online business. Creating that financial freedom. How many times have you looked at those videos from like Iman Gadzhi? It's like top 10 business models, top 7 business models, how to make money online, how to make 10K online, right? This is the biggest thing for like, it may not be for you, but for most guys, this is what we want, right? Why haven't you got it? What's stopping you from actually starting that online business? What's stopping you from watching the videos to actually creating your online business? Oh, I don't know what the correct business model is for me. And this is what I used to say. What is the correct business model? I want to research more. I don't know what one to start with. I don't know which one's good to start with. What's the most expensive to start with? What's the best for me since I don't have a lot of money right now? Yet, how can I still make profits? It's not the business model. That's not the problem. It's the fact that you won't eat the frog. You aren't willing to sit down and actually start putting in the work consistently. You aren't willing to do the hard task now. You aren't willing to do it first thing in the morning. Right now, think of that business model. Right, the business model that you're trying to do. What's the hardest task that it is that you need to do? For me, it's recording, right? For me, when I was like thinking of recording, the hardest task was literally just picking up a camera and actually start writing and start saying stuff. That was the biggest task for me. And eventually I stopped researching, watching videos about it. Like, research is good. It's always good to do research, but just doing research and then not actually using that knowledge you have isn't good. So I actually picked up the camera and started recording. I did the biggest task. I did the hardest task. I started this. I need to turn the fucking thing up. I just turned up the ISO on the camera, so hopefully you can see it a little better, because it's getting kind of dark now. It's in the evening. I want you to ask yourself, are you consistently sitting down and doing the hardest task? Are you consistently sitting down and doing that hardest task of that online business, to actually create that online business? Maybe you're not into online businesses right now, right? So I want you to ask this. I want you to ask yourself this. What is the hardest task of that day? You wake up in the morning, or no, actually the night before you wake up. What is the hardest task that you need to do tomorrow? And do it first thing in the morning. Straight away, do it first thing in the morning. 1, this is going to make you feel so much more productive. like actually getting up and doing it. Like for me, the hardest task is going to be recording or like recording or editing. It's those two things that are the most difficult things. So recording, I've got to like actually go out and like record, and then editing just takes so long of the day. It's just a lot I have to do. Writing the script, right? Writing these scripts for these YouTube videos, that's easy for me, right? That's not the hardest task. So the days that I need to write a script, I don't do those first thing in the morning. Those days I'll be going to the gym. The gym will be the hardest task. Going out and actually going to weights, driving in this -2 degrees just to go to the gym, just to lift weights. That's the hardest task for me. You know when I do that? I do that at 8. I do that 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning. So, that frog task of the day, that hardest task of the day, you do it in the morning and you feel really productive. You've done it. You've done the most difficult thing. So, after you finished it, you feel like that you've been super productive. Even though you've done one thing, you feel like you've been super productive. In the morning when I've done this recording or I've gone to the gym, I'll literally, after I finish, I'll be like, oh my God, I feel really good right now. I feel so productive. And I feel like the rest of the day is going to be amazing. And it is. I'm still super productive throughout the whole rest of the day. Or you could be the average person who pushes that frog task. Right, I'm just going to call it frog task, your hardest task of the day. That frog task that you need to do, you could be the average person who pushes it to do later. Oh, I'll do it later. Oh, I'll do it tomorrow. I've woken up a little bit later. I wanted to get up earlier tomorrow so I could revise. I was going to get up at 8. I got up at 10, I'll do it later because I got up a little bit later. Oh, but then it actually gets to later. It gets to 4 p.m. and you're thinking, oh, it's 4 p.m. now. It's kind of the evening. I want to relax. I don't want to do it. I'll do it tomorrow. That whole day that you're pushing that hardest task, you are anxious. You are only thinking about that task, how you should do it, but you don't want to, so you're going to push it a little bit later. Maybe even to tomorrow. That whole day you'll feel anxious and you will not feel productive. The same with eating the frog after dinner. During the whole dinner, you're just going to be thinking about that frog, man. Now, most people are like this. Not many people do the hardest task first thing in the morning. Most people are like this. They push that task to later. So I want you to think about this. Think about the future you right now, the you tomorrow. Do you think he likes you as a human being? Do you think you have a good relationship with your future self? Probably not. Think about all the work that you've put on him. Your future self probably hates you right now. Do you ever look back to your past self and think, God damn, past me, you were an idiot? I do. I look back to my past self who used to game I literally used to game from, this is going to be embarrassing, but I used to game from morning. I used to get up at 7 just to get on the Xbox, game until 7. That's a lie. I'd game until midnight. I wouldn't even get up and go to the bathroom. I'd just piss in a bottle. God damn, I should not have said that, but it's unfortunately true. Your future self probably hates you right now. Now, here's the secret. The secret. Yeah, the title is okay, you need to get up before 10 a.m. Right? You don't actually need to. Everyone is different. Before 10 a.m. is good because once you get to 10 a.m. it's kind of near midday. But I don't actually get up at the typical stereotypical time. I don't get up at 6 a.m. I don't get up at 5 a.m. I don't have that sort of CEO kind of thing. I don't get up at that because that doesn't work for me. I tried it for a month or so and it didn't work. It didn't feel right for me. Maybe it will feel right for you. Or maybe you feel better, more like me, getting up at 8, going to bed at 7, 8, 10, maybe 9, and then getting up at 8. Maybe you feel better with that. You see, I get up at 8 or 7 if I just wake up before my alarm. Right. I get up then and I still do the exact same thing every single morning. I get up, I drink a lot of water straight away and I'm instantly outside and I start recording, or I'm at the gym. I do the hardest task first thing. You don't need to get up at 6 a.m. for this. You just need to do it first thing when you wake up. Maybe you have an off day. Maybe you wake up at 12 midday, right? You'll think to yourself, shit, fuck, oh no. Well, I can't do anything productive now because it's midday. And then you'll give up, right? Don't. Still do the hardest task of the day. Don't just give up because then you will have a really bad day. There's been times where I've woken up 12, right? I've come back from where I was working at a restaurant and I'd come back at 1 in the morning. I went to bed and I woke up at 11 or 12 and I think, oh no. But you still got to do everything that you need to do today. You just need to do it now. And I go out and do it and I still have a productive day. You don't need to get up at 6 a.m. but it'd be good to get up before 10 a.m. Okay, the one thing that I'm gonna recommend, like I do in my videos, is this. Oh my god, it's completely frosted on the back, but I recommend this, right? The Way of the Superior Man. One of the best books in the entire world, I personally think, and also Atomic Habits. I'm gonna recommend this book. I have a link in the description which you can buy off Amazon. It costs 10 quid. Best investment of my life. The reason why I'm telling you this is because maybe you don't know where to start. This book helped me understand self-improvement and understand a lot of things about myself. So one of the best books in the entire world. I think that this is a great place to start. So I recommend this. It's really, really good. It's very, very cheap. Like, some of you would be like, oh, £10 for a book? Oh my god, that's way too much. Mate, think about it. This book is going to change your life. It's a good investment. It's a good investment. I'll have a link in the description. Hopefully this helped you out. Stay consistent and do the best you can. Love you, bro. Mwah. It's so cold. Oh my god. Oh, but we're going to go on a run, so I don't care.